Hi, I'm professional photographer Lynn Chamberlain. Welcome to the series on how to take better photographs. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about ISO, what it is and what it means. ISO stands for International Standards Organization, which was an agency set up years ago to establish standards for all kinds of different industries, one of which was the photography industry. Now this is a roll of film. Some of you may remember this. We used to actually use this to take photographs. This is a roll of Kodacolor Gold 100 film. Now the 100 refers to the actual ISO, or the speed or the sensitivity of the film. 100 is actually a fairly low sensitivity. So what that means is it takes quite a bit of light to expose properly this film and make a decent image. Now there are lots of higher numbers and lower numbers. They went all the way from 25 ISO, which was very slow, clear up to 800 and even 1600 ISO film. The higher the number, the more sensitive the film and the less light it took to strike it to properly expose it. Now the same thing is true in digital photography. ISO is incorporated into the camera now. Because we have a digital sensor instead of using film, the camera can adjust the sensitivity of that sensor, or the ISO number, which is a tremendous advantage in digital photography, because when you had a 36 exposure roll of 100 ISO film, you were forced to expose the entire thing at 100 ISO before you could take it out of the camera and change for a higher speed film. Now, from one image to the next, you can literally go from 100 ISO, clear up to 6400 ISO, and even higher if you need to, in order to properly expose that camera. Now that image. Now there are advantages and disadvantages, obviously. With film, the higher the ISO, the higher the grain appearance of the film was. With digital photography, when you shoot at higher ISOs, you get more noise, digital noise involved. It's kind of like amplification for audio. As you turn up the amplifier, turn up the volume on the amplifier, you get more hiss or hum from that amplifier, more noise. When you turn up and amplify the sensitivity of a digital sensor by raising the ISO, you get digital hiss or digital noise, which has the appearance in the final image of a grainy texture. So the higher the ISO on your camera, the more grain or digital noise you will get in your final image. Now let's take a look just for a minute at the camera and how ISO would work on the camera such as this one right here. Okay, when we turn this on, you have a window that comes up here and you have a button. Most cameras have a button very close to that window somewhere where you push it. This one says ISO, and it allows you to change that ISO. So you push it and then you change the ISO just by turning the dial. I like to shoot with my 7D very close to 400 ISO because it's very fine grain. But if I need it, I can still turn up the ISO to 800, which is twice as sensitive as 400, or even 1600, which is twice as sensitive as 800. Or if I want to, I can go all the way down to 100 ISO or lower, which is half as sensitive as 200, or 1/4 as sensitive as 400, but the grain or the digital noise is decreased significantly at those lower ISOs. So that controls the sensitivity of your sensor, and ISO is something, you know, that you can actually take photographs without knowing anything about it. But the more you know about your camera and its operation, the better photographer you will be and the more control you will have over the final image.